So there's new technology that I think will be the awesome technology. Now, it's not Metaverse. People think Metaverse is the ultimate technology, and I agree. But I think it'll be Metaverse 2.0 or a different form of Metaverse. Here's why. I believe that the Metaverse, or at least from what I read, there are 5 parts to the Metaverse. There's AR, VR, there is blockchain technology, AI, and 5G. These 5 parts make up what we call this paradigm of the Metaverse, right? Which none of it is exactly realized yet. Most of what people see now as the Metaverse is just a video game. Most video games now kind of have that. People talk to each other. They're playing a game, camaraderie, all the feelings of going into an environment where they all have a common goal, right? But what is the Metaverse overall? Is it individual or is it for a group of people? I think it hasn't truly found its niche yet. But let's go into the design of what's going to happen here. Now, currently what we have in our technologies is a database, some web application front end for it to display the front end code, and some regular old 3G, 4G, or some cable to help us transmit that data directly to the user in the form of a web app or an application. I know that's a lot. But what I'm getting at is that is the older version that we're still using. The new version that's proposed is we're going to go to a metaverse. But I feel like that's a primitive idea. I feel like there's going to be an idea beyond the metaverse, more ultimate, that will merge or meld the pieces of AI, VR, AR, blockchain technology, and 5G technology all into one. Now, let's look at how each one works. Now, the VR, now Google with AR. VR and AR are just renderings of the environment that you want to see or propose to see or should see in a metaverse space. I know it sounds trite, but what I'm talking about is the reason why it's difficult now is because you have to have high quality technology that can render things in real time. That's difficult. Like, video games have a hard time doing this. Say, for example, a person is in the middle of a room, right? And I want to see 1,000 or 10,000 units that way, whatever the unit space may be, right? That unit space, 1,000 or 10,000 units away, is not rendered for me, right? It's rendered nearby me by proximity, because that always makes sure that whatever is closest to the source at axis 0,0 is always rendered up to a certain limit. It becomes difficult as you try to render beyond that, right? Well, that's something that these people are trying to render within the VR and AR. How can they render quickly with speed? And that's a challenge of technology. So blockchain is being able to make sure the data that the user experience is legitimate. It's real. The data from, I don't know, you may bought some shoes or something and it's a token, an NFT, whatever it may be, but it exists, is real. Well, it's not real. It feels real inside the metaverse, right? That's the thing. It wants to feel real and authentic, and that whatever that you have in a blockchain, from down to just speckles of dust to possibly large scale items, all of them should be or should have some level of a database structure, which is the ledger from the blockchain technology that assures that the information is reliable, it is real, that is not made up, changed, or altered. And that's what makes this real and helpful to the metaverse. If the metaverse didn't have this database structure, or let me keep saying database, if it didn't have this blockchain ledger style setup, it wouldn't work. If we had a regular database, right? Say, for example, we had 50,000 databases, all independently doing its own particular thing in this database. One problem would be schema. Schema changes happen all the time in databases. They are not reliable. Also, data changes happen in databases. You can't control that, right? And how do you make sure all these databases don't change things? One goes down, one fails. There's so many issues that can happen independently from different companies. No one agrees on anything, right? So all these issues happen within databases, but within a blockchain technology, first of all, everything is under one structure, one schema, no changes. It's controlled by all the nodes independently. There is no consortium of people saying, I don't like this, I don't like that. It doesn't matter what you like. This is the structure that is on, and therefore all the nodes make sure that all other nodes are being legit, right? All that to say that when the individual is rendering a view of something, they know that the view will be reliable. It will be there, and they will be able to see or experience what they expect to experience. Now, AI. AI is another one. AI is very important because it helps renders the view of what the person is experiencing by generating code or injecting code or help transforming some experience by giving the additional there's different ways to look at it. You can smooth out a certain environment. For example, certain things are not available or not everything's been blocked together. For example, what will happen is the AI can help smooth out the area to make it look more realistic, right? Fill in the edges that doesn't seem to exist. Another issue, or another thing that AI could do is render something brand new that hasn't been created before in the metaverse. So, for example, most of these companies are building cups and, I don't know, a microphone or whatever as assets within the metaverse. But not everything has been created, right? Sometimes certain things are created by an AI to at least fill in certain areas to make sure things are available. However, as time goes on, less and less of that will be needed. Overall, AI also help with generating the code so that you can get to certain areas or act. There's a lot of ways that AI can be used that we're not talking about now, but it would be an individual fabric in making sure that the metaverse works. Now, 5G. 5G is important not because it does anything seriously from a standpoint of technology. What it does is it provides speed. So right now we're using 3G, 4G for a lot of things. Now we just introduced 5G into our society, at least in the US, at wide scale, I believe. But there is an issue, even the point that airlines are having trouble with it now, as you know. But overall, the 5G has come in, and now that exists, it will make renderings happen significantly faster, right? So your phone that can transmit information from your phone to your VR set can then get the information extremely quick and then automatically render in real time on your eyes. The problem is, of course, how can you render or simulate a real world scenario with like 4K like technology or 4K type of visibility is very hard. Even 8K, I don't know what level they're gonna get to. But the thing about it is they wanted to make it as real as possible in certain environments. I don't know, some areas they can make it look very cartoonish. But the goal, I believe, is they want to make this look very real. My experience, I'd rather have an AR environment because I'd rather have my real world and then I have a lot of things that can help render in real time at things that are important to me, that matter to me. And I can see that with me. Like, for example, I don't know, I'm in a grocery store and now I know this is very, very invasive in data for these companies. But say, for example, I'm in a grocery store and I wanted to buy something and automatically it gives me information about that product. And I can almost see that product in three-dimensional, how it can be used, different ways like that. And it renders that for me versus giving me some YouTube video. You know what I mean? So it really gives me all of that there. And I guess the rendering would be the AI that's doing that, which would be very helpful. Anyway, those are 5 pieces. And if we could replace that, and that will be the ultimate technology, all that could be combined. It may not be named the metaverse. It could be named something else, whatever. But if they combine these things and they build this awesome technology, it can truly revolutionize everything. If you have ideas and comments below, please let me know. I love to hear them. Thanks for watching and subscribe. I'll see you next one.